Hello, myself Sneha Gupta. I have done my master's in physics, and after it, I have taught in a PG college to undergraduate and postgraduate students for 4 years. And then I have completed my BEd in 2018. And after completing my BEd, I have qualified my teaching eligibility exams like CTET, UPTET and STET in TGT Maths, and I have been tutoring for 4 to 5 years in Delhi, and I am teaching to grade 6 to grade 10 students Maths and Science. So for now, let's start a topic and stay tuned with me. So let me share with you my screen. Okay. Yeah. So shall we start? So here, my topic, I am going to teach you physics here. And this is the class 9 physics, and the first chapter is motion. So I will start you with the motion. So first, before starting the topic motion, we see that there are states. Like suppose that you have learned in chemistry that there are three kinds of states, like solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. Similarly, in physics, there are two kinds of state. Like first, as I have written here, that is rest state or stationary state, and other is motion. So here, rest state means that where position is fixed. Okay, and here motion, that is an object is said to be in motion when position changes continuously with respect to a stationary object. We can take also a stationary object as a reference point, or the phenomena in which an object changes its position with respect to time. So here are some examples of like stationary state. Like here, suppose here is a tree. So tree is fixed. A tree is in a fixed position. So tree is a stationary object. And suppose here is a school, that is also a fixed point. And here is house. So similarly, in motion, for example, suppose here you can see that flying birds. So flying birds are in motion. And similarly, suppose second picture is a man is moving. So man is in a motion state. And here these are swimming fishes. So fishes are swimming. So that means fishes are in motion. So here you can understand about the state that they are rest state and motion state. Okay, so with this we continue to the our next topic, that is related in motion. So that is distance and displacement. Suppose if we talk about that is distance and displacement. So we will learn what is distance and what is displacement. Okay, so generally you will be thinking that distance and displacement are the same thing, but in physics distance and displacement both are the different things. Okay, so let's see what is the difference between distance and displacement. So first here, if i draw suppose if I draw suppose this is a park. This is a park. Okay, and here is your house. Suppose here is your house, and here is your friend house. Okay, so suppose here is your friend house, and now you have to travel from your house to your friend house. So how will you travel? Suppose you went from this way to, and then you went from this way. Okay, so suppose here the distance of this park is 40, and here 40 meter, and here the distance is like 30 meter. So how many distance you have traveled from your house to your friend house? Suppose this is your house and this is your friend house. Okay, so how many distance you have traveled? So like you have traveled, total distance that you have traveled, that is 40 plus 30, that is 70 meters. So you have traveled the distance like 70 meter. Now we talk about displacement. So what is displacement? Suppose uh, like you have traveled like this. Okay, so this distance you have traveled, suppose this distance, so you can see that it is a park and it is a right angle triangle here. So you can also measure it by a measuring tape, or you can see here that this is a right angle triangle, you can see. So if we will calculate it by a Pythagoras theorem, so this distance will be like a 50 meter. So this is a distance for your house from starting point, and this is your friend house distance, that is a final point. So the shortest distance between initial point and between final point, that is called the displacement. So here this 70 meter was the distance, and this 50 meter is called displacement. Okay. Okay. So now here, what we will do some this thing. So let me tell you about like what is distance and what is displacement. So distance is like this, total length of path traveled. Okay. So there, total length of path that is traveled. Okay. And what is displacement? Distance is the shortest distance. What is shortest distance from initial to final position? From initial to final position. Okay. Okay. So now here you can see the difference between what is distance and what is displacement. Okay. And suppose here, here you can see this total distance was like 40 and 30, that is 70 meter. And here the shortest distance, like here this was the initial point and this was your friend house is the final point. So shortest distance between initial and final point was 50 meters. So that is the displacement. Okay. And suppose if you have traveled your distance like this. Suppose in the same diagram, if I draw a figure like this, suppose if you not go, if you are not going straight, you are going something like this. In this path, you are traveling like this, some zigzag kind of path, not straight as a 50 meter. So how will you measure this distance, that is exact point? So you will this kind of, suppose if I draw here like distance, suppose this is a park and you traveled in a this way. So how will you measure this distance? So you will measure this distance by a thread or by a rope. So you will put a rope there, and you can then take that you can measure the distance with a measurement. Okay. So these are some ways of this. Okay. So now here you have cleared about this, what is distance and what is displacement. Okay. Now we will continue about suppose here you have seen that distance that is measured in like we measured it in a unit like meter. So meter is a standard unit. So distance or displacement, these are called physical quantity. What it is called? physical quantity. And physical quantity that can be measured, like distance, displacement, or if I give you another example like mass or something like that, are physical quantity that can be measured. Suppose if I have taken this pen, if I measure it, suppose it is a 12 centimeter, so this pen is a physical quantity, and this length means here is length or distance between this final point and end point, that is distance. Okay, so this is a, suppose if it is a 12 centimeter or 12 centimeter, so 12 centimeter is a physical quantity. Okay,